Glenn is triumphantly and victoriously back
or anything
from London. He's talking over me because he has no idea what's going on, as usual. Ryan, I believe, is in the can, but it happens. You know, we all do it. We're going to talk to Glenn, see how his trip went. We're going to talk about Ryan's successful prediction of 5 goals, 2 from set pieces, 3 from open play. It was a good weekend to be an Arsenal fan. It was probably an even better weekend to be Glenn, who was there. So what do you say we talk about it, shall we? How's it? Welcome into Loose Cannons after a 5-0 walloping of Crystal Palace. Glenn is absolutely clueless, has no idea what's going on. He's coming into the mic.
I can't hear anything.
See what I mean? He can't hear anything. He's talking over me. Hey, Glenn, mute yourself. He can't hear me. I don't know why I'm telling him that. Yeah, I don't know either. But anyway, so yeah, we're here. Glenn has made his way home from London. If he could hear me, I'd talk to him. There we go. So don't know. Ryan is here as well. Again, as I said, a good weekend to be an Arsenal fan. Ryan, are you there?
I am.
He is here. So you asked me a question. Well, you asked both real Ryan and I a question last week. You gave us the option of, I think it was a 1 or 2-0 win, 2 goals from open play, or a 5-0 win. But everything was fluky. Well, we got the best of both worlds. Did we not? Really? What do you mean?
Two of my vices, Arsenal and pizza. I was eating, sorry. Anyways. No, I mean, we'll talk about it, but I don't know if I were to lump our performance in with how we played against teams we've lost to, such as Fulham and West Ham. That's 2 examples.
Wait, say that again?
I said I don't know if we could lump in this performance, like just overall performance, take the goals out against Crystal Palace, as you could lump it in with, you know, the loss against West Ham, the loss against Fulham.
So you think...
Ow.
Okay, Glenn, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. My thingy wasn't working.
I think that has to do with your age and your weed consumption. Oh, you mean like your earphones or something? I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I use that excuse in the bedroom too.
Fair. All right. Okay. Do you really have to use that excuse though? Like
no, because I don't have to use it. I don't have to use it.
That's what I thought.
Because we're not intimate at all.
Ryan. So,
oh my God.
Wait, what I think I'm confused. Are you saying that the performance Saturday was better than those two? Because I
don't. I don't think it was better.
But I don't think the performance at Fulham was very good.
Not Fulham, sorry. West Ham and Liverpool. I apologize. I know I said that.
That's what confused. I'm like, wait a minute. That's kind of like. Are you saying that performance is somewhere in the middle of? Okay, I'm with you now. Okay, I agree with. But okay. When I say we got the best of both worlds, we got 5 goals, 2 from set pieces, which is fantastic, and 3 from. I am going to toot my own horn at some point here today about scoring on the counter. So now that Glenn is here and Glenn can hear us, sir, look at the camera and tell us all about it.
Oh gosh, really? Is that what you want? I thought we were talking about Arsenal.
You were there, were you live?
Yes, I was there. What do you want? You want to hear what it was like at the game?
No, I want to know. I want to hear. I want you to tell everybody how things were. You hated the trip.
Okay.
But you loved being at the game. I would assume you loved being.
No, I did not hate the trip. I hated the first day of the trip.
Oh, I really thought for a minute he was about to say that he hated being at the game too.
Fuck no. How is that even possible?
I was about to.
That's not even possible. Hold on. You guys entertain yourselves for 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Oh, great.
I can't do that on camera, Glenn. For fuck's sake, man. I wanted to really get through a show without cursing. 5.5 minutes in, and I'm already screwed. Okay, so I wasn't thrilled with the performance, but just from the goals standpoint, I think we have to be pretty happy about how we scored these goals. And if you didn't see the little text bubble above Gabriel's head, he should have had 2. So I am not 100% thrilled with the outcome of this game because F. Dean Henderson in an own goal, that ball was going in the net, regardless of hitting off the back of his head. Gabriel should have had a brace. But anyway, that's all I'm going to complain about.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm not feeling well, but any other show I would have had to cancel. But you guys, I'm not canceling. I brought back some.
I hope that's beer that you're cracking, and you're going to try to.
I don't drink beer. Okay, so I mean, I'll talk about the game. It was surreal. I put out a little trailer for the UK video that's going to take me a week and a half to make of me at the game, and that was a little synopsis of it. When everybody started singing, I said to the camera, "It's not real." Then I felt myself starting to cry, and I didn't want to be that fucking stereotype that goes, "Arsenal, I'm here." Fuck you. No, I take that back because sometimes it's genuine. But I put the camera down against my coat when I felt myself starting to cry. But then I had to say, and I mean it. You know, I've had many great moments in my life, from my kids being born to marrying my hideous wife to my first radio.
At least he's got a sense of humor about it.
To my first radio gig. And look, I'm just being honest. This doesn't say where my priorities lie. But I can tell you, without a doubt, when they were singing, I started to cry. I tried to hide it from the camera, but I had to tell the camera that it was the beginning of the game with all the fans singing. I'm getting a little misty as I think about it. Was the happiest moment of my life. Easily the happiest moment of my life. As far as that, we can talk about the rest of the trip a little bit later. I'd like to talk about the game since you guys were talking about it. I said this in an interview after the game. I saw my old friend Robbie and Graham, and I went on AFTV, and I couldn't believe how many people were not happy with a 5-0 win. And I used a joke I used in one of my videos months ago where Arsenal fans, you guys remember the movie Gladiator where Russell Crowe just kicks the shit out of everybody and he yells, "Are you not entertained?" If there was an Arsenal fan there, you said, "No. How can you not be happy with a 5-0 win?" Fuck that. I am not going to nitpick. I'm not going to nitpick. And I said this in the interview too. 5-0. If you want perfection and 5-0 is not good enough, don't get married. Don't get married if you're expecting perfection. So that's all I'll say about that. We can talk about the rest of the trip later, especially that first fucking day with those fuckers at British Customs. You mother. I hate you. If you somehow see this, I hate you. Okay. So anyway, that's later in the show.
Oh God, I don't want to get to later in the show.
All right, fine. I won't talk about British Customs. Be a bunch of fuck ups. Go ahead. Fucking callous sons of bitches. Fucks. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Yeah, Glenn, as far as I'm concerned, you've been going. That motor's been running for a couple minutes now.
All right, you big fucking. I'm sorry. Everybody listen. Those of you that want to know about my trip, Ryan has a little sand in his vagina, so we'll just move on right now. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why are you being quiet?
1 week, I've missed this, man.
Why are you fucking guys being quiet? I'm doing this show. I feel sick. I brought back some fucking Spurs disease or something. I feel sick. All right. So
what's the matter? You got a cold or what? What's going on?
And I have sand in my vagina. Okay.
I'm dizzy. I feel dizzy and nauseous.
Hey, Glenn, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Totally off topic. When we're done, How long do you have? An hour?
I have an hour. My wife's gonna be done at 5, and then she's gonna need me. So I probably got to like 5:10 or something.
Okay. Damn it. You and I want to talk to you later tonight. So we're gonna figure out.
Wait, you want to talk to me?
Yeah, we're gonna do this later tonight.
What I do?
Not like a show. We're just gonna talk. But anyway, I have some questions.
No.
But anyway,
I didn't do anything. They pulled me out randomly.
Right. Moving on. So the 5 goal, the performance. I kind of back to what Ryan and I were saying. The performance, it wasn't clean, and I don't. And like Glenn, look, and
I'm not going to interrupt you, dude. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I can't not laugh.
No, it's. Here's the thing. You win a game like this 5-0, okay, and there aren't any dodgy goals, like Ryan, you said last week, like two goals go in off deflections, and it's there's an own goal and there's a questionable penalty or something like that, where we're not really creating the chances. We did that. We created the chances. We created the goals. So there's nothing to complain about. The performance overall, not clean. So look, our job isn't to sit here and blow sunshine and fairy dust.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
No. I know that's not what you're saying.
No one said.
But I guess we can be a little nitpicky, because here's the thing: when it goes really well, you can be a little nitpicky, I think.
Okay.
No, I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want. It's a free country, or free country over there, free country over here. Yeah, do what you want.
Ryan, I wish you were there when they brought on ESR. I don't know if it came through on the television, but the cheer was enormous when they brought him on. Did it come through on the television?
It came through for me.
Honestly, that's the only noise I heard the fans through the television.
Yeah.
Oh no, sometimes TV doesn't do it justice. I was there, dudes. I was there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I'll get into it now, because I guess. Well, see, you have nothing to compare it to. No, you're not, Tanner.
Thank you.
I think this was the quietest our fan base has been at a game in the last 2 seasons. So it's probably bad for me to ask you how you thought the atmosphere was, because you're gonna say it was good. I'm sure it wasn't quiet. I'm sure you couldn't hear a pin drop or anything like that, but I don't know. I one of the things I wrote in my notes actually twice, that it's just so quiet. No one's cheering. It didn't. I don't know. It just wasn't. It wasn't the fortress that it's been the last 2 seasons, and it's. I don't know. It wasn't a fan of it. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's rubbed me a little the wrong way.
Right, Ryan, don't apologize for your opinion. As a matter of fact, a couple of days ago, I didn't read the article because I thought it was ridiculous. The article headline was, "How can you improve the atmosphere at the Emirates?" So obviously, you're not the only person that felt that way. I can only tell you, this is so awesome. I'm telling you from my firsthand experience. It fucking gives me goosebumps to fucking talk about this, guys. This is only from my firsthand experience, okay? It was cold as a witch's tit that day, and there was a wind blowing around the stadium. I know you can keep warm by being loud and raucous, but to me, I heard all the oohs and the ahs and the cheers for the good passes, and all I can do is defend the crowd that was there. It was fucking cold. I think I was the only one without gloves on. I don't know, dude. I don't know how to say it. It didn't come. If I wasn't at the game, I'd probably be like you guys. They're a little bit quiet, but I was there and I saw everybody except me wearing gloves. And I heard all the oohs and ahs. And the best part, and I said this in my interview. The best part was hearing 60,000 people yell the same curses I yell at my television all the time. It was magical. Oh my God. So, maybe I'm biased because it was my first game ever. Maybe I'm wrong and the crowd wasn't as into it as you guys think, but I was there. I wasn't disappointed. I heard fucking everything and saw everything and screamed about VAR too. What they do to the fans, dudes. Well, you dudes probably know this already, and everybody that's watching this now or watching it later probably knows this already. But they leave the fans in the stands with nothing but VAR check. You don't see anything.
Yeah.
What do they think? It's going to be a fucking riot? No, they just don't want to embarrass themselves.
Glenn. It's both. They don't want to riot and they don't want to embarrass themselves.
Okay.
It's remember I've said that, like, in close calls in baseball, they won't put the replay up on the if the call goes against the home team. Mm-hmm. And Major League Baseball has flat out said it's to protect the integrity of the umpires. Like, okay, they're human, they're going to get it wrong. Mm-hmm. So unless it's blatantly obvious that it's wrong and it doesn't get overturned, what's there to protect? This is one of those. They know that if they put it up on the screens and they get it blatantly wrong because the fix is in, I'm fully convinced. I don't care what anybody points. I'm fully convinced that VAR is fixing games, or at least fixing decisions anyway.
Can I just say one thing to that?
Fully convinced of that, but that's why they won't put it up.
I just want to say one thing to that. The only other league I watch is the Bundesliga. I don't even watch the MLS. And in the Bundesliga, most of the time, VAR doesn't fuck up. I think it's the people running VAR instead of a conspiracy.
Well, VAR can't fuck it up because it's not a computer making the decision.
It's the people making the decision.
Right. So it's not VAR. It's the people running it. Anyway.
Yeah, they're so incompetent.
Why the fuck are we talking about VAR? Who gives a shit? We know.
I know. I'm sorry.
What was the Jesus penalty? Great. Let's just talk about it and get out of the way because I don't want to talk about VAR anymore.
All right, I want to respect that.
It's a foul. Yeah, I think for me, it comes down to the thing, and you could have a whole show like this. I don't want to today, but it comes down to how much contact is too much contact. You know, the commentators, when they review fouls, not enough contact for me. Not enough contact. Oh, that's enough contact. That's what define. The commentators need to define what is enough contact to you. What is not enough contact. I don't. I think that's just so bizarre.
There's too much gray area. It's too
subjective. It was on USA, right, in America, the USA Network. That's the one thing that I was just like, the commentator kept saying, not enough contact for me. Well, what's enough? Tell me what enough is. Is it a foul anywhere else on the pitch? Yes. Okay, well then by that law, it should be a penalty. Yeah, it was soft. It's tough because it's funny. So I'm gonna relate it to American sports. The Kansas City Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills play each other. American football for any of our fans that love watching American football. And there's a rule where if you fumble it out of the other team's end zone, they get the ball. No touchdown, no nothing. You don't cross the plane. You fumble it out. And a podcast I was listening to were like, that's a terrible rule. They need to get rid of it. And one of the guys said, that is the worst rule in sports. It's how did he word it? Essentially, it's the worst. It's the worst bang for your buck as far as what you do and what the result is. Is in the other team gets the ball. You could be an inch. You could be an inch away from scoring a touchdown. You fumble that ball, it doesn't cross the plane, it rolls out the end zone. The other team gets the ball, you get nothing, zero. All of your hard work driving down the field, nothing. You don't get nothing.
Okay, make your point, Ryan.
Can you shut the fuck up? And I'm about to tell you. And they're like, "Oh, it's the worst." And I go, "No, the worst thing in sports to me is a penalty. Any foul, because by a little law, a foul in the box, which should be a foul anywhere else in the pitch." You essentially get a free. You get a free shot on goal. I mean, there's someone trying to block it, but you get a shot on goal. And to me, it's a lot. And I have a lot of stats. I wrote a lot of stats. I did actually proud of myself on the back. I did a little bit of research because there's something I want to talk about later on the show. But a penalty shot is 0.6 xG for anyone that cares about xG. So it's or it might be 0.8. I think it might be 0.8. Whatever.
Ryan,
It's
Ryan
fucking
didn't you
close
say you don't want to talk about VAR? Now you've gone on for like 10 minutes about
No,
VAR.
but I'm just saying, like, yeah, you're right. Fuck it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh my
Thank
God!
you,
Mark
Glenn.
this date in history. Ryan
You
said I'm right.
Pull me out of depth. It's not even old. No, I shouldn't say it. It's not even about. It's not about VAR. I'm talking about what, like, something needs to give, because it's a very, very harsh penalty for making a routine foul in a certain part of the pitch. I know that's the rules of the game, but the way they're modernizing the game with VAR, the way, different things happen, as the years progress with athletes, being able to do different things. It's frustrating, having a close call in the box, no matter whether it's for us or against us. Yeah, so that's all I got to say about that.
Um,
I'm martyred.
all I'm
going
gonna say is the penalty, the non-penalty on Jason, it's not a penalty. It's just not. I think it's soft, and I think when you watch the player that's being fouled.
But do you think it's a foul anywhere else on the pitch?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think it's. I think
I don't even remember.
Most people, I dare say, can watch the player going to the ground, the player that's being fouled. And I do the air quote things because I don't exercise good personal hygiene. Please tell me somebody gets that reference. Anyway, you know what a dive looks like. You know when there's not enough contact to go to ground.
I don't watch Bruno Fernandes enough, but yeah, I have an idea.
I think when you look at Jesus, you just say, no, he's going down. Like he's going down of his own accord. The contact isn't what's making him go to ground. Anyway, the only other thing I'll say about the in-stadium situation with VAR is, yes, there are plays that you just say that's a goal. There's absolutely no reason to check this whatsoever, and they still check it. And to put it up on the screen, like, just the referee, just bide your time. Just if there's a VAR check and you're just confirming, just like the NFL does, every scoring play is reviewed. Get it done. Get it done. Just don't put the VAR check up on the screen. Just get it done behind the scenes. And if there really is something there, then okay. Then wait a minute. This might actually be offside. There may actually be a handball here. But the ones that are clear and obvious, just check them, confirm it, and we move on. And I think that, Glenn, that might have been your point to the VAR thing in the stadium. It really does. It really does take away from the in-stadium experience, in my opinion, from celebrating a goal.
I don't know. I don't know how. See, this is probably something cultural. Can you guys hear me all right? I feel like I can't hear myself. Okay, this might be something cultural because I can't see American fans putting up with being left in the dark so long on things that we're not talking about American sports where you score 50 plus points in every damn thing. We're talking about key moments in the game, and you're not even allowed to look at the replay. I understand sometimes maybe you don't want to do it, but you just sit there, and it was stunning to me. And I'm looking. At the game, I'm looking around like, and I said to Femi, who got me the tickets, Femi, I fucking love you. He's part of Burkamp Wonderland, and I was sitting next to him for the whole game. What a host, what a gentleman, and what an Arsenal supporter. I'm looking at Femi, I'm looking at the guy next, I'm looking at everybody, and nobody's upset. I'm like, how can you people, I didn't yell this, it's in my head, how can you people put up with this?
What choice do they have? It's not like
you make a loud enough noise, you can change things. You remember that Superliga where the whole world said,
true.
Fuck you. I don't think UK supporters sometimes know the power they have. If they just fucking get a little more pissed, stop with that stiff upper lip shit and fucking get pissed off because you are being ripped off at games by having to sit there Incompetent fucking officials. Okay, so anyway, what were we talking about? I forgot.
How angry you are for having seen a 5-0 win in person in England, and you have done nothing but scream the whole time you've been here.
Have
It
I
is
really?
absolutely tremendous. You'd think we got blown out 7-0.
No, that's what really bugged me after the game too. Seeing articles, looking, on social media, I just couldn't believe some people weren't 5-0 in a fucking football match. Come
It's because
on.
we
I mean,
finished second last season, and they expect the world from us, or the fans expect the world from the team. Which I get it, but
well,
such a poor run. Like you have to
Well,
take
oh
everything
my,
like game by
do
game.
we agree on this, Ryan? I just want to make sure, like, I'm not having some hallucination because I don't feel well.
Well, tell me what you think we agree on, and I'll tell you because you've been wrong quite a few
Arsenal
times. So.
supporters, some really disappoint me with their wanting perfection in everything. That
I think say you disappoint me. I just think that finishing second, you raise the bar immensely. So when you lose to Fulham, you lose to West Ham, you lose to Liverpool in games, it's you think the world's going to end, and 5-0, but we kind of didn't dominate them as much as I'd like to. But I think we dominated them in another thing that we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
well, don't wait for me to get us there. Like if you've got it,
no, trust me.
Guys.
I know when we're gonna get there. But yeah, we're slowly piecing together a full performance, and I think, Glenn, I'm almost done. Calm down. You're good. You got this. I think what we saw here is that people that complain like, "Oh, there's no plan B. There's no plan B." This game is you want a plan B. You watch this entire game. We did nothing this game that we've done really throughout the entire season. We played a whole different game of football for the most part, and I think that it was very refreshing to see. And while people say, "Oh, it wasn't perfect," well, it was different. Different doesn't always mean bad. So I still think we put together a very good performance, albeit very different than what fans are accustomed to.
Some people think I'm too grumpy and I'm one of those guys with a black cloud over my head. I used to think I was like that too till I met BG. He's got like a permanent black cloud over his head. But I don't deny BG. How much do I love you? You're getting a present in the mail from me tomorrow. I love you.
I'm like Dane Cook and waiting over him. Like, what the fuck did I do?
So anyway, because you're always you're more droopy dog than happy. So my point is, look, I don't deny people wanting to do criticism. Shut up. I don't mind people doing criticism. Let me tell you, Graham of AFTV, he's one of those fucking big brain guys. He's the sweetest man in the world, by the way. He's one of those big brain guys, can pick apart a game and show you shit you didn't even see. Ryan, I know you think you see a lot of stuff too, like I do, but he points out shit you just don't see. So he was right behind me in the interview. I went off on Arsenal fans that weren't happy. He came in and he's saying all this true shit about what we didn't do right. Fine, if you want to look at it that way, but don't scream about it. We won 5-0, and give yourself an hour to enjoy that 5-0 before you go off. Huh?
Okay. I don't think. So so Ryan made the point that we finished second last year. Where's the only place to go from there?
First, of course. And we're a contender, but it's not easy. We're in the toughest league in the world.
Well, right. And so the expectations become a little unrealistic. All right.
Yeah. I think that's
everybody has different expectations.
Well, the expectation the expectation is second.
Just because you finish second and you like what you see doesn't mean we're definitely gonna finish first. Yeah, right. Have we gotten better? Of course, Rice. And you can make arguments at Harris if you want, but I think he's been a breath of fresh air. He's helped out, but let's take him out of it. Even just adding Rice, we definitely got better. But like people forget, other teams can get better too. People, being the youngest team in the Premier League, you're getting experience slowly but surely. These teams already have experience, and they're doing what they can just to be a step better. So just because we finished second, we got Rice. Oh, we're winning the league or bust. It's like I almost like never. I think it's different, when I can't believe I'm bringing American sports in this
Can I
again.
say?
When yes, you can, Glenn. In 1 second. When you
Okay.
bring in American football, the commentators a lot of times will talk about, well, for the Kansas City Chiefs, it's Super Bowl or bust, and it's like I kind of get that because it's like, well, you play the regular season and you kind of enter yourselves into a little tournament, and in that tournament, teams play each other, and there's a winner at the end of the day. For football, for our football, it's not the same. There is no tournament, there is no playoffs, for the Premier League, but it's not that simple. You gotta constantly be improving, but other teams are improving too. It's not for us. It's not first place or bust. It shouldn't be. It's because it doesn't work like that unless you're Man City, where it's like, oh, we didn't win. Yeah, it's a bust. Let's just throw money at the problem and hope it works out. Whereas we do things obviously very different. It's a process. You're constantly building and reforming and doing a lot of moving pieces, and it's different.
Well, but to a degree though, I think here's the thing. The expectations aren't what Glenn, you wanted to say something. Do you want to jump in before I
Well, I'm just good. Here's some sunshine and you guys do whatever, okay? Maybe we're not going to do anything in January, but it's like we're going to have two great signings in January, and that's Partey and Timber. I'm really excited about what's coming up. Timber, all right, maybe I heard it wrong. So maybe you're laughing at me. I saw two stories.
I am laughing at you.
I saw two stories that said he's coming back. It's not as quick as Partey, but he's coming back.
He's going to start training in February, but he ain't going to see game time until I couldn't tell you when.
Glenn, Yuri and Timber might play in a grand total of 6 games at the end of the season.
All right.
Stop reading the articles. Stop looking at Twitter. I'm telling you, as someone who's done this to himself twice.
Okay.
It's at least 8 months, and he's only
I
in
believe
month
you
6
guys
right now.
I believe you guys, because I got just yesterday, I got sucked into the transfer talk. And then when I started reading the articles, I'm like, this is all bullshit, and I stopped. So I think that's what I did with, no, dude, come on. Ryan, you're laughing at me, but come on. Have you read those articles? They're laughable clickbait. And
you know what? They're perfect for you because you're the audience that they cater to. People who are going to go and click them, and you click them and you read them and you bring it to a podcast. Timber's going to play February against Liverpool. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That's what leads to me laughing at you. I'm just being a friend and being honest.
I think I deserve that because I said I gave Timber 2 stories before I believed it. So I'll just take that, okay? But I'm not usually like that. I swear, I promise. I'm excited.
Kieran Tierney begs to differ.
5-0, and here we are yapping. Go ahead, guys. Go.
Here's the thing. Expectations are fine.
Aren't you glad we brought back Kieran Tierney, who got hurt, Glenn?
Oh, fuck that asshole. What a treacherous
you just had to poke the bear, didn't you?
No. Wait. I can end it in 5 seconds. Tierney, you treacherous dickhead. Okay, go ahead.
That was 3. Go. Well done. Expectations are fine. Without expectations, there's nothing to ascend to. There's nothing to strive for, right? So finished second last year. The only place to go other than down and be worse is to go up 1 spot and win the league. And that's great. So
I don't even think this season, if we go down, we are worse. Like if we finish behind City and Liverpool, obviously I'm going to be upset. I think all of us are going to be upset, but is it a worse season? I think Liverpool are playing out of their minds. They're only going to get better. They didn't have this last season. I mean, who knows? With Salah being out, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. I'm sure he'll be fit for us. He'll be fit, and then he'll magically go back on the IR for another month. But it's a game by game, season by season process. Places where you finish doesn't dictate your season to an extent.
Look, I only took 1 year of psychology. Okay. When I went to college before I discovered DJing parties makes lots of money. We all expect our expectations to win the league, and for some hopefuls, the Champions League. I'll take the Premier League. Champions League, I think, is just a teeny bit out of reach due to inexperience of players. But if we are top 4 contenders, top 3, top 2, that's the least we expect. All right, but we can't expect to. If we don't fucking win the title and we lose by 3, 2, 1 point in the standings. How can you fucking be mad at that? You could be disappointed, but how can you be mad at it? How can you expect when our favorite teams are just billionaires' toys? They all have the money to compete. How can you expect our billionaire to just win it every year? Okay? We hope to win it. We expect to win it. But at the very least, we're a top 4 team.
Yeah, Glenn,
you people.
You said it 10 minutes ago. People have just different, or maybe you said it. I thought it was Glenn said it, but people just have different expectations. People say like, "Oh, we finished second, so naturally we have to finish first." Or this season sucked. We're useless. We didn't get better. We got worse. And it's just, again, it's not that simple. Like City got better, Liverpool got better. I'm not saying Villa's going to win the league, but Villa got everyone is getting better. Except for, I guess you could say maybe Chelsea and United, which I think is still hilarious. You can even make a comment that the Spurs got better. They did. They're still Tottenham. They're still toilet bowl, still toilet water. But
all right, wait. My daughter, who's in the room over there, said, "Daddy, you okay? Oh my God, you sound so pissed." You guys, stop making me yell.
Daddy, you sound pissed. You make yourself yell. I don't make you yell.
Just lower your fucking voices.
Ultimately, this is what it's about. Okay. There are just certain elements in this fan base, and there are a few that I actually respect, and respect a lot, that have this idea that we're the only team in the league, and if we somehow don't win the league, how is that possible? How is it possible that being the only team in a league and we didn't win it?
Wait, what did you just say? The only team in the league we didn't win.
There are some people in this fan base who just their entitlement runs so deep that they don't see the other teams.
Yeah, that's true.
They have Arsenal blinders on, and they don't see anything out here. They don't see the Manchester Cities or the Liverpools or the Aston Villas. They don't see those teams, and they just look at Arsenal and just how does this team not win the league? But they don't look at anything else. There's no context to it. It's Arsenal win the league. Well, there's 38 games to play. Like, you have to earn that trophy over a 38 game schedule.
These people think they're essentially these people think they're playing a video game, because it's like exactly. when you play FIFA, you go through a season, you finish second against a bunch of computers. You're like, okay, City was tough. I had trouble playing Burnley away, and you expect to make those adjustments because you're a human. You have that in your brain of just making adjustments, having that experience. Well, if I do this differently against Burnley, I should have an easier time, playing a turf more. But people forget, just because you're such a devoted Arsenal fan and the players have those memories of, okay, we had this experience, let's tweak it and get better. City are the same way. Liverpool are the same way. These other teams are going to get better. These other teams are also going to adapt and get better. Just because they beat you the first time doesn't mean they're not going to adapt and get better. I think teams, maybe managers more so than the players, watch more film than they let on. I think Arteta is a number one guy at watching film, but I also think other teams do too, because they want to see other teams get better. I think a lot of teams are going to watch this game against Palace, and they're going to be like, looks like Arsenal have a plan B. They have other ways to beat us. They have other blueprints that we haven't seen yet. And I think it's going to make teams think, and it's going to make teams adapt before they play us. And it's going to make things tougher for us, regardless of where we finish now versus where we finish later. And yeah, we also brought it up. Let's not forget too, we're in the Champions League. We have that kind of under our belt as well that we have to kind of worry about. So I mean, and I thought about this. I said this to myself out loud after the past game. I don't know what triggered it up. I'm talking to my wife, one of my friends. I don't remember, but I poo-pooed it right away, and then I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind. How, Glenn? I'll ask both of you. How would you guys feel if we got to the Champions League final? Say we lost, and we finish 1 point into the Champions. Like, so we finished fourth place, but only because of a point. Like whoever came in fifth place finished a point behind us. Would you say that this was a successful season?
At first, in that scenario you give, I would be disappointed. I'd probably come on this show and talk about why I'm disappointed and the reasons I'm disappointed. And then a week later, I'd realize we got in the fucking final, top 4. Calm the fuck down. That's I know myself now. That's my process. That's why when I start making videos, I don't make them right away. Otherwise, you'll see the angry guy that was just screaming 10 minutes ago.
Give me more context on the league. How far off the top
Thank
did
you.
you finish?
I mean, you finished fourth, fifth is 1 point behind you.
But is first place 7 points ahead of us? Did we, are we 2 games off?
Let's say 9, 10. I don't. To me, it doesn't matter. But
I mean, it does
10.
because finishing.
Well, I think overall, when you look at it, and I had this argument with this person, and I thought about it, I'm like, oh, that could be good. But then I go back again because, of course, we all know how I could talk for 20, 30 minutes, and I can change my opinion 10 different times.
In that one time.
I changed my opinion, and I said, you know what? Everything for me is a game by game thing. Everything we're humans playing FIFA. We're the players are adapting. They're, you're playing your games. You're getting coached. You're going into different situations. You have X amount of corner kicks, X amount of penalties, X amount of free kicks. You have possession, X amount of percentage of times. Not every game is the same. Every game is different. And you need to learn to adapt and survive. And that's why, it's tough when people throw numbers out saying like, oh, we finished in this spot in Champions League and we finished in this place in the Premier League. Like, I don't know. It depends how our season went. If we did all that and half of our team is injured, then and then we scraped just to get in Champions League, then it was a great season. But if we had all of our cylinders firing and we dropped points where we shouldn't have dropped and we get blown out in the final, like embarrassed, kind of like Europa League Chelsea that I'm always trying to forget about, then I don't know. I don't know if we had a good season. I just think,
I guess here's
the game by game thing for me. I guess what it comes down to.
Do we back into the so again, to your hypothetical, on the surface, we get to the Champions League final, we finish in fourth, but we back in to fourth place. We like you hear again, American sports teams backing into the playoffs. They're not playing well, but the teams around them are playing worse, so they just kind of fell into the spot. Somebody had to finish in the playoff spot. That team just played a little bit less poorly than everybody around them. So for me, qualifying for Champions League again, so finishing top 4, and if it's 1 point, it's 1 point, but it's still 1 point. It's still fourth place. So you could even take it further and say we finished in fourth level on points, but finished in fourth on goal difference. Overall, again, context being what it is, that's a successful season. We reached a Champions League final, and you can't win it if you're not there. And you finish at a Champions League place, so you get to take another run at it next season. We've had some devastating injuries this year. Hopefully we get one of those players back for the rest of the season. I don't think we played our best football, but overall, what the answer to the question for everybody is, what are your expectations of the team? And at the end of the season, here's the context. Now, lay your context over top of your expectations, and what do you get? And as you said, with the injuries and everything else, you can't predict those things at the beginning of the season. You just can't say that Thomas Partey's going to miss 4 fucking months. Urian Timber's going to blow out his knee in the first game of the season. I don't know that Urian Timber is the difference between winning either of the two competitions that we're still in or not. By the way, just saying.
Depth.
He gives it. Yes, he does. And I'm not saying that he's not even a starter, but this Urian Timber is the savior of this football club when he comes back and healthy.
No,
ain't it. No, there are people who genuinely like when he tries to prove to people that he can't walk on water, there are people out there that are going to be genuinely stunned.
Well,
like pump the brakes on Urian Timber.
Another person you could talk about is ESR. A lot, he divided the fan base after the game. There was people that said he did nothing, and there's people that said like, "Oh my God, he needs to start over Havertz immediately." So it comes down to a very divisive fan base. I mean, you get that anywhere you go.
Look,
they want their problem solved by things they don't know and can't see, and that's kind of why I hate hypotheticals too. You need to.
You gave
us the hypothetical. I hate the hypotheticals. I usually don't even answer them.
Long, just because I hate them because. I think it's different because like in the hypothetical I gave last week, Glenn, which you weren't here for, I gave hypotheticals. Would you want to see us, maybe draw or lose, or maybe win 1-0, but play amazing football, or do you want to see us win 5-0 and we get play off the pitch, but goals just rolling off our feet, rolling off our ass cheeks, our calf muscles, whatever have you. And to me, that's different. I gave context for an isolated game. When you give, I don't like hypotheticals where you're, well, hey, we finished 4th place. Is it a good season? I don't fucking know. There's 18 games left. You gotta tell me what happens. What happens in Champions League? But yeah, this is a stupid conversation I don't want to be having anymore. So what I do want to be having
Let me ask you this. Real quick, real quick, for both of you.
Okay.
As of right now, not end of the season, nothing. Where we are right now, are you happy with where we are right now? Again, fully understanding that there are 17 matches left to play. There are at least 2 Champions League matches left to play. Are you happy with where we are right now? My answer is resoundingly yes.
I'm happy with just a little smidge of disappointment. That's all. Yeah,
What are you disappointed?
No, just teams, where we drop points that we should have flat out just had the 3.
Sure. I mean, but every team somewhere along the season.
That's exact, dude. You don't have to give me.
They're all going to do it.
That's the lecture I give everybody else. So you don't have to give it to me.
I'll give you zero context for my answer. My answer. I'm resoundingly yes. I am happy with where we are right now.
Yeah,
we are in the title hunt with a game against Liverpool and a game against City.
Yeah.
Where do the job and gain points on them, and we're in the knockout stages of the Champions League.
I need to do
at this point in the season. I've said this for 2 weeks now. I'm happy being the hunter. Last season, it was squeaky bum time every time we went out there because I was afraid of losing and dropping points at somebody gaining on us. I'm not scared of dropping the points now. It's different being the hunter as opposed to being the hunted. Being the hunter and having to catch teams in front of us, I think makes us play better. It forces us to have to play better, match in and match out. Ryan, what's your answer? Are you happy with where we are right
now? After our game against Palace, 150%. Yeah, I'm very happy because of the way we played. We played different, and this is going to lead into what I finally want to talk about. Corner kicks and set pieces. I didn't really value them too much, and I didn't really like. Oh, great! Another corner kick goal, not an open play goal. We want open. Everyone has this obsession with open play goals, and to an extent, I was too. We had a fucking hypothetical about it last week. Until this, up until after this game, I hope every goal we score is a goal kick from now off a corner kick from now on. I did a little digging, did a little stat checking. We lead the league in corners by a lot. I think Man City second. I'm really mad because my wife bought me this pen with my iPad, and I'm doing the podcast on an iPad right now. And I write my notes down, really cool. I change the colors. Maybe I'll like underline things. I'll draw
Okay,
a little bit. It's kind of
Ryan,
fun.
concentrate,
I'm
Ryan.
getting Glenn. Stick a
You
hot
were-
dog.
I'm right that time.
I'm going to finish. You stop interrupting me. I'm turning into Glenn. I lost train of thought. So yeah, I was writing everything down, and I was like, oh, I have all these like interesting little stats I wrote down, all this notes and all this crap. So I realized, I mean, I could, but I could just go black. I could just do this and do. You know what I am? Do you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I could do this. I guess you just have to.
Oh, are
do
you
a-
doing special effects?
No, I'm
I
not
was
doing
I
special
was
effects.
looking
I'm just
something
reading.
up.
I'm just what? No, I'm just reading our corners. So we take the most corners. We're at 64, which is roughly 7.6 a game. City is second at 141. They're at 6.4, and then Liverpool is third at 6.3 corners per game. So we're getting a lot of corners. We're scoring off corners. We have the most goals off corner kicks. We have the least goals off corner kicks, which I thought was very interesting when I heard that stat. We surrender the least amount of goals off corner kicks, and I was like, that's interesting because when you look at the own goal from KVR against Liverpool, you look at Bobby Reed's goal from Fulham when they beat us 2-1. When you look at Mavropanos' goal against us from West Ham, when you look at the first two Luton goals they scored against us when we beat them 4-3, we surrender a lot. Like I was like, it's crazy to me. I feel like we're constantly letting goals in from set pieces. Well, guess what? We give up the least amount of corner kicks in a game. We give up roughly 2.4. You know who's in second? Yeah, you're right. Idiot, 3.6. And then tied for third is Villa and Brighton at 3.8. Corner kicks are, funny enough, a cornerstone to how we play football. And I didn't realize it until our game against Crystal Palace. And corner kicks are a very, very, very good advantage. Getting a corner kick is very advantageous for the attacker. It puts us in a really good spot. You're sending a ball into no man's land, or you could send the ball back out and retain possession. There's a lot of things you can do with corner kicks. I never really valued them as much as I did until I watched this game. And I think that we need to be getting more corners. And how are we going to get more corners? If we attack more and we put defense under pressure. We kind of take possession, slowly move up the pitch, dominate them, make them make decisions that they don't want to make. And that's exactly the way we've been playing. Now,
Good God. Oh, I'm sorry. You done? I thought you were. Are you done?
Your stats. You have stats you want to bring up about?
No. I don't have stats. So, I wanted to bring up something about what you're talking about, but I didn't know if you were
yeah,
done
go for it, Glenn. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Those were very interesting stats. I'm not being sarcastic. My point, to add on to Ryan's point, is a couple of years ago, Arteta hired a corner kicks coach. And the first year, I didn't see any difference. I'm like, why'd we fucking hire this guy? So while Ryan was talking, and I was listening, Ryan, I looked up his name.
I hired him.
Nicholas Jover. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, Jover. But he is the guy behind, all those great stats Ryan just said. And as far as how everybody views Arsenal, because I've been trying to say this for 10 minutes, we can't control how people, react to how we're going to win, what trophies we're going to win or whatever. I'm going to give you a 30-second speech and shut up. This is a guy, when I wanted to see a movie, me and my friends would have to go to fucking Blockbuster Video to get the movie. All right. And now we're living in an age, and it's fucking wonderful. And I'm so glad to be alive in this age where every fucking voice in every corner of the world, no matter how stable or unstable they might be, they have a voice. And that's a great thing. But we're going to have to put up with the crazies that, if we don't win the league this year, we lose by a point, they're going to yell Arteta out because that's the wonderful age we live in. Everybody has a voice.
Honestly,
and I
okay.
That's it. I'm sorry.
You broke up, so I missed the whole.
Oh my God! That whole speech, I broke up that whole speech.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh yeah, it was a great speech. Anyways, no, so my babbling and rambling and I gotta figure out a way to have these notes. I mean, I have them on my phone, but I can't read for shit. I need better context. But we are very good on set piece. I think, it's a testament to Jover, whatever, however you want to say his name. He's doing a great job, and I thought it was very interesting. And I think what's kind of sparked me and to kind of dive into this whole corner kick thing was every time we take a corner, Arteta's not on the touchline. He's on the touchline. And the commentators brought it up, and they're like, oh, that's interesting. Why is their set piece coach out on the line? Not Arteta, this guy who's always crawling around, going outside the touchline, jumping around, screaming, all this. Because, of course, the media is all about Arteta and why Arteta is an animal on the sidelines. I just thought it was very interesting. It shows that I think Arteta really cares about these corners, which we should. I think creating a shot from open play versus getting a corner kick, I think I'd rather take a corner kick. I think it's a free opportunity to get the ball into the box, which at that point anything can happen. You could get a shot that deflects in, you can get an own goal, you could maybe get a penalty. And I know that's another thing that I'm going to bring it up. I don't want to talk about it. Is they don't call that enough. I think a lot of attacking players, get fouled and dragged down in corner kicks, and the refs don't seem to care. They get bear hugged, hold. That's a whole thing. But I think I kind of see now why we hired him. I see now kind of Arteta's plan, and the fact that we're going to possess the ball. We're going to do what we want to do, and we're going to try to get as many set pieces as we can, because I do think that set pieces are the cornerstone of us scoring. And I don't care how the ball goes in the net. At the end of the day, granted, if we're scoring penalty after penalty, that's just not sustainable. You're not going to get – teams are lucky to get penalties in a match, let alone more than one. So I think that this, us leading corners is something is a very positive stat that we need to take from that. We need to take that and run with it and develop a strategy to getting corners. And I think we've done a good job. I think we did a lot this game that we didn't do normally in other games. I think we also, to Tanner's point, how he thinks we're a counterattacking team. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't disagree either. I think we have players that spark good counterattacks, and the two main guys who are, I think, great counterattackers. One, we all know Martinelli, but I think another person is Jorginho. And I think Jorginho had an amazing ball to Martinelli for I think it was his second goal, our fifth goal. And I think when you have those players for those certain niche moments, I think they unlock certain blueprints, certain parts of the pitch that we don't necessarily use or need. So at the end of the day, I think having them in our arsenal, I think bodes well for us. And I think it shows that we can adapt. We can have a plan B, and maybe even a plan C and D.
Well, the counterattack thing, I don't think we're okay. I don't think it's not that I think we are a counterattacking team as much as we play very well on the counter, Saturday's game notwithstanding. And I just think that it's a look, losing possession. Look, it's a little bit of rope-a-dope. All right. Okay, maybe you lose possession, but you do so intentionally to win it back, to hit on the counter. And look, I'll look ahead a little bit to the Forest game in a week. They're looking for points. They need to avoid the drop, and they need points because they're probably going to get a points deduction. So they want to try to accumulate points as much as they can. They're going to be ripe for the picking on the counter. And as dumb as it sounds, and I don't necessarily seriously advocate for this, but shit, man, maybe you just, maybe you misplace a pass, but you misplace that pass intentionally, knowing that I'm going to misplace the pass here. They're going to gain possession. They're going to come at us, and we're going to win possession back. But losing possession in that area of the pitch is not going to hurt us there. So as long as we play defense the way we know we can win back the possession, hit them on the counter, and off we go. It's just, like Ryan said, having a plan B. And I've said this for months, years, have a plan B, because not every game is going to go the way you expect it to go. It's going to go the way you hope it goes, no matter how good or how much better you are than your opponent. It's just not the way it's going to work. So, and to Ryan's point, you know, with free kicks and corner kicks and things I think there's a little bit to be said about, look, at the end of the day, what any good coach, manager, whatever, is doing some film study, and they're looking at stats. And okay, what is this team's, what is their trend in terms of giving up corners, and how do they defend them? And do we have a set play that would work well with a corner? So maybe in the box, maybe we're not trying to score. Maybe they're playing a low block and it's difficult to get shots through actually on net. So rather than that, sure, plan B, plan C. Maybe we try to hit them on a corner. Maybe we just, hey, kick the ball in a certain spot so that we know it'll deflect and go behind for a corner, and we try to score that way. So sure, I'm all for it. And I would not run, if I were Arsenal, the same play that we ran for Gabriel's 2 headers, because the media have absolutely exhausted analyzing what we did. And I am fairly certain
every team does that, though. That's why
I'm fairly certain that now, if we try to do it against Forest, we're going to get called for a foul in the box. There is not a doubt in my mind that if we try to run the same thing, that there is a directive from the PGMOL to call a foul. I will say that I don't know that they'd be wrong from watching it and like really breaking it down. Like, okay, if that happened against us, would I be screaming for a foul? Probably.
Let's
Go ahead,
see.
Glenn.
I just was looking for the time. How can I tell the time of this video? Because you just questioned.
We're at 1 hour.
You just questioned. You just said what's going to happen on a corner kick with a grand conspiracy. But 15 minutes ago, you said you don't have a black cloud over your head. What are you doing? Why would they mess with the most profitable league in the world by doing something like that? What could they
Because they're idiots. You've already answered your own question. They're morons.
Okay. I can't argue with that because they are. But I don't believe you, but I do agree they're idiots.
There's a bit of sarcasm in that. You look, I know, you do it until they call you. I just think there will be a directive now. The first quarter we get and we try it, I think they're going to call us for it. So we'll see if I'm right. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we score again from it because it looks like a great play. We are up on an hour, Glenn. I know you're up against it as well.
Well, I don't have to go until she texts me.
Well, I do because my dogs have been at daycare for quite a long time today, so I need to duck out here. But I have a few minutes. Ryan, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up? And can we get through it quickly?
Not really.
Quickly meaning in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
You should have asked me first. All right. I
don't care. Glenn, you had your fun. You went to the game. You saw it. Done. Like, no.
Okay.
No, I think we kind of jerked Glenn off a little too much with his England trip early on. So we missed. There's a lot of interesting talking points. I thought. I think I don't think you can really analyze ESR, but I'm curious to think what you guys thought how he played. I thought he was okay. I don't think he was amazing. I don't think he was bad though. It goes back to the fans. Just they want him to be the savior, the answer, or he was like, this guy sucks. Like what do you guys see him? He was terrible when he came on the field, on the pitch. I thought something else that was very interesting was Trossard. I think Trossard starting, he wasn't supposed to. Martinelli apparently wasn't fit, so Trossard got to start. I loved his interchanging with Jesus. It unlocked a lot. I think Trossard's understanding with Havertz and Zinchenko really unlocked a lot. I think Zinchenko had an amazing game. And my man of the match was Ben White, which I think he was just so solid offensively and defensively. And that was my spark notes of the game, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can remember from my notes. That I'm thrilled on my iPad.
All right, mine is maybe 15 seconds. I'm thrilled my first game was 5-0. And Tuesday night, 7 p.m. British Customs. Go fuck yourself. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta wrap up here because I do have to go get them. But
That's on. Oh, sorry.
Did he
I
just
just wanted to call.
seriously leave?
Yeah, he always does that.
Oh my God,
I just wanted to call you out on comment in the chat where Raya is the guy that goes after balls, not Ramsdale. I think you're confusing the two. Raya is super aggressive on corners. Ramsdale is not. Ramsdale is in between the two sticks way too much. Not aggressive at all. No. Maybe you're high with Glenn.
Well then Leno must have been buried in the net because I thought
he was.
Ramsdale
That was my. I mean, I didn't really see a need for him to play the ball at his feet too much, so I didn't really care that he wasn't really a ball playing keeper. It's not really his job. But the one critique I had of Leno, and I still love Berg Leno. I still cheer for him when he's in goal for Fulham. I mean, to be fair, my wife's second team is Fulham because she calls them the sex symbol team, and well, I don't know. It's either that or she likes Bournemouth.
That's
She likes
funny.
Bournemouth because of cherries, but whatever. But yeah, Leno's biggest thing with me was he would just stay in the box and players like Ben White would abuse him. Would just the infamous goal. Who were we playing? Was it Villa? Burn? I feel like it was a maroon or purple team, where the dude was like all over Leno. Leno didn't move. Which, funny enough, that's how we scored I think it was our second goal. That ended up being an own goal. Henderson was being blocked off by Ben White, and he was like, "Oh, I can't move. Help! I can't really do anything about it."
Right.
It wasn't helping that Tariq Mitchell was pushing Ben White into Henderson, but Henderson should have just got around him. I don't understand that, but that's what Leno used to do, and that's the second goal that we scored ended up being an own goal. Should have been a Gabriel goal for the second one, but whatever. That's a goal that with Leno we concede every time. Every game we can score those kind of goals because Leno doesn't come out. It's very frustrating. I don't want to say it's good to see other teams suffer from it, but it's just like, okay, like it wasn't just Leno. It kind of makes me feel better because I immediately thought about Leno when that happened. But yeah, I don't know why we're talking about this, but yeah, that was
because of my comment about.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. But yeah, it was good. It was a good game. Palace wasn't up for it because they're going through shit. Whatever. We played different. We attacked more on the left, which was really nice to see. Saka got the ball a little further back, which allowed Saka to take guys on one instead of getting the ball right outside the 18 and immediately having to face a 2-on-1 or potentially even a 3-on-1. So. I don't know. Yeah, I can talk this game. I wrote. That's my problem. Is I prepared too much for the show. I wrote down so many notes and so many stats, and I kind of just threw them up in my mouth into the show. And yeah, it's a mess. But yeah, I had fun as always. Good to see Glenn back, and good to see him. He's back up to his old tricks, and just
So basically, what I'll say is this: stay tuned. Maybe we get the band back together. We'll do a little player analysis tomorrow, perhaps. So stay tuned. We'll talk and we'll figure some things out. Thank you, everybody that has made it this far with us. Everybody in the chat, Stu Mac, Sasky, Gooner, 3-Point Sniper. 3-Point Sniper, you and I are going to be talking a lot coming up here very soon. Arse Bros Ryan was in the chat. That's a new name. I've never seen that one. BG Media was out there too. Beer Gooner Media. That's interesting.
That's crazy. Recycling the same.
I know, right?
Huh? Interesting, crazy, wild.
Bargav, Bronx Gunner was out there. I think I got just about everybody. So everybody that interacted with the chat anyway. Drop us a like, please. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do that. Please tell a friend about us. We're trying desperately to get to 1,000 subscribers and then get to 1,100 and so on and so forth. And build the channel, get a lot of subscribers going. I think we bring something a little different here. Not just the same old typical analysis. We bring a little bit of banter, a little bit of fun, a little bit of cursing. Try to have fun. 3 or 4 guys in a bar chatting a little footy, chatting Arsenal. So thank you once again, everybody. It has been good footy talk. We'll see you out there.